I want to start out today by asking everybody a couple questions. Okay, number one, how many of you are stressed about the prospects of your children getting into good colleges and universities? Okay, almost everyone. There's a few that didn't raise their hand. They must have very brilliant kids. Okay, number two, and this often I get more reaction out of the second question, and that is, how many of you are stressed about paying for all the schools your children are going to get into? Okay, somebody raised their hand before I even finished the question. That's stress, okay? You're stressed. Okay, well, I understand how you're feeling because I've been there myself. I have two children. My daughter graduated from college almost 2 years ago. My son is a junior in college. He's actually double majoring in mathematics and studio art. Okay, so I've been where you are. But here's the good news. There is good news. This whole college process doesn't have to be as stressful or often as expensive if you become an empowered consumer. Okay. If you become an empowered consumer, you're not going to get pushed around by all the college admission insanity. Right? You're not going to be a victim. You're going to be a smart college shopper. Right? And when you're an empowered consumer, you're going to know what the big sources of college money are and how to tap into them. You're going to be able to identify, before your child ever applies, if a school is going to be generous to your child or not. You're going to have the kind of knowledge that you could potentially save tens of thousands of dollars, if not more, on this huge big ticket item. Okay? So my number one mission today is to help make you an empowered consumer. And to show you what you can do when you have the knowledge, I want to share the story about my son's best friend growing up, Nathan, who was a brilliant kid. He went to high-tech high with my son. They had gone to grade school together. And Nathan was one of those kids who had never gotten a B in his life. He did so well in his SAT that he didn't have to take it twice, unlike my kids. But Nathan had one problem. The problem was that Nathan's parents had had financial difficulty. The father had had a small business, a graphic designs business that went belly up during the recession of 2008 and 9. The mom was a social worker, never made much money. Okay. So, and also the house was underwater because they bought it at the height of the market. So they couldn't pull any money out for college. So here's what I told Nathan's family. I said, you should apply to some of the most expensive schools in the country, right? Not particular ones, because there are some very expensive schools that have lousy financial aid, and then there's some incredibly generous schools. So he ended up doing that. He was interested in going to a liberal arts college. He was more interested in a university for his graduate studies. So he applied to a lot of elite liberal arts colleges primarily. Grinnell, Carlton, Whitman, Colgate. He did apply to a university, Washington University in St. Louis. When he got into all those schools, and when he picked Carlton College. How many of you are aware of Carlton? It's a phenomenal school. If you believe the U.S. News and World Report rankings, and I used to blog for them, I had to stop because I just can't stomach the rankings. But if you believe those rankings, Carleton's one of the top 10 liberal arts colleges in the country. Many of the students go on to graduate school or medical school. So he's now a junior at Carleton, he's a computer science major. When he got his financial aid package, this school now costs about $60,000. Right? It's shocking, I know. But he only has to pay about $4,000 a year. Okay? Now you might be thinking, well, this is totally irrelevant to my situation because I have money in the bank, we have jobs, so we're not going to get that kind of a deal. But the good news is that many students get scholarships and financial aid for college. In fact, at private schools today, across the country, 85% of students get some kind of grants and scholarships. And at state and private schools, 2/3 of students get some money. But I will give you one more story. It's about my own children. I figure between my two children are not as brilliant as Nathan by any means, right? They're smart, but they're not up there. They had to take the SAT more than once, and we sweated it out some of their classes. But between my two children, I estimated I saved $125,000 off the sticker price.